What is going on, family? I can see a few of you here. Hope you are all doing well. Let me just send the thumbnail. Set this thing up. Wait for others to join. Hope you guys are well. Hope you are looking forward to, it's rather a late one for me actually, it's 1 o'clock, but perfect timing. Let's go. Guys, there's a lot. I want to talk about the current situation and where we see crypto. Seems we're doing just fine at the moment. But do let me know. There's the chat. Big up to... Pete, what's happening, brother? I hope you are doing well. I hope you can hear me. Let me just do... Hope you can hear me there. Do let me know. It's quite interesting because it's, you know, TAO right now is the most outstanding performer. Look at the volume. I mean, the volume alone is just ridiculous. And all good from my side, bro. Let's go with this one. Just get this live stream going. But yeah, I mean, price-wise, it's almost back to 300. The buzz behind it, really, it's on-chain accumulation plus the AI news. So it's really it's really crazy. I mean, the future outlook for TAO is incredible, absolutely incredible. So yeah, pretty much. I mean, TAO has done nearly 50% in the past month, which is absolutely ridiculous considering the market dynamics. Absolute insanity. So we're going to talk about it. I'll just send the reminder of this live to the crew. Let's go with... Let's go with this. A few more joining us. We look at the oil markets as well. We look at the market manipulation, potentially, that could happen. We've got the FOMC as well coming up. Do you like Tatsu? Pratik, I haven't heard of that one for a while. Do you guys, I suppose you can hear me, guys. I suppose you can hear me. Just do this. Let's do this. Few more joining us. And we are good to go after that. Will it be bullish? Will it be bearish? When is the likelihood of an alt season? How far down the bear market are we? I mean, potentially, how high could we go? There's a lot of permutations, but we need to talk about the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room for me that crypto is not really looking at it at the moment is the war and inflation. You know, I wish we were isolated and we can have our own very own bull market. So far, crypto has been very resilient, but there is a reason for that. We have been oversold for a very, very long time. And it's going to be bull versus bears. There's going to be a situation where there's going to be manipulation in the market once again. I do believe we still have all of those issues, but liquidity, once it comes back, we're good to go. But when is liquidity back? That is a massive point. Unless you're buying something like, you know, you regularly DCA into your core conviction, and regardless, you get money in on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, and you put money into the market and you have identified your core assets, then most people are just going to play about with either taking a lot of risk with some rubbish coins with no utility, or some of them are going to sit out in the sideline for way longer than they want. I will talk about the potential ecosystem there, Pratish, as well. But honestly, it is almost time for me to really be looking at inflation and to be looking at the macro right now. China-Taiwan. Mark said China-Taiwan is the next issue. You may have a point. You may have a very, very good point, brother. Because really, if we're being honest, and I have prepared some work for us to get through in this live session. Because what I want us to do, shoots, of course, brilliant subnets. But let's talk about, let's probably start the show with what most people are not anticipating. And the longer this conflict goes, you know, we've seen impact on fertilizers. We've seen impact on, you know, Qatar's stop the production of certain chemicals. The Middle East produces a lot of fertilizer. There's a whole list of things, but I want to go factual and I want to talk about what we could potentially expect if this war continues to linger on. I am at the heart of it. You know, I live in the region, and honestly, 5 decades of geopolitical disruption through the world's most critical energy choke point, where we get roughly 20 to 27% of global oil transits. Now, I've done some research, and in 1973, right, oil spiked by 300%. And of course, 79, the Iranian Revolution, it was 149%. Then we had the Iran-Iraq War, that was 11%, but they weren't specifically targeting international oil shipments. I mean, occasionally they'll blow up a ship here or there, but that was 11% increase in the price of oil. And then it was worse in 1990 during the Gulf War crisis, 135%. And of course, so far, we have seen 80% plus. So here's what you need to think about the next CPI. At the moment, we've got an FOMC coming on the 18th, but that's a nothing burger. It's 100% rates will remain the same. But could there be the possibility of rate hikes? Tend to be, yeah, sure. If it's too loud, huh? Thanks for letting me know. How about now? Do let me know, brother. Thank you. All good to hear. So, guys, look, if anyone's ignoring what the crisis means in terms of CPI, then you are absolutely mistaken. I mean, we're almost heading into territories where potentially, rate hikes come, and that's not something that people are discussing right now. I know we just came out of QE. We came out of a historical period of. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. So, what's happening right now is really unprecedented. If you look at the situation in the Middle East, if you look at what's going on in Dubai, what's going on in the Gulf, what's going on in Qatar, of course, the whole Iran war, the fact that it's regionalized, this is something that will show up on CPI, PPI, on macro data. And because that's going to happen, it just depends on what that does in terms of our bottoming process. Have we seen the bottom, or potentially could we see this spill over into our normal, of course it's going to spill over into our normal everyday lives. I'm talking about your bread, your petrol, your house loan, if interest rates come under threat. And I do have a secondary discussion points on this. So we have a complete history here. If you look at from kind of like Yom Kippur to Iranian Revolution, we understand one thing. This type of war is inflationary. Okay? So overall, we've obviously got the US announcing in the last few days that they're going to produce more. OPEC and the other, of course, the other blocks. Russian oil is now coming back into the market. But really, what you want to be asking is, historically, what has this meant for inflation to date? And personally, the US inflation after every oil shock is something key. The worst that it's ever done was the Iranian Revolution. You could actually argue this was insane. Of course, this is not a direct comparison, but 13.5% was the result of the annual inflation rise due to that crisis. 1973 oil embargo, CPI annual rate in 1974 was 11%. Gulf War peaked at 6.3% year on year. Of course, that was in October 1990. Pre-Iran war, CPI 2.4%. Forecast 3.5, right? So if we start seeing these hot numbers, again, it's not going to be nothing like these other numbers, but you can actually see how inflationary. I did actually share something in the Discord that breaks it down even more clearly in terms of where CPI is right now and where it could potentially go. So, in my opinion, if history is to go by, April, perhaps May, there is no FOMC in May, June, what is there? So potentially April, June, yeah, so there's none in May. We have April, June, July, and then rates down in September. And this is what the market is hoping right now to be the case. Now, if there's any other kind of a twist from this, if the war gets worse, of course, situation will be requiring even potential rate hikes, right? So, all in all, the current situation is going to be heavily inflationary unless we can find a way out of this crisis very, very quickly. Now, historically, from a crypto angle, Historically, oil shocks proceed to a tighter monetary policy and risk of sentiment. And it would be great to see Bitcoin decoupling. Of course, in an ideal world, but it may not decouple if inflation continues to rise off the back of Donald Trump's actions and whatever comes next. So with that in mind, what we're right now seeing is a typically oversold market in a bear market. We're claiming $72,000 as we speak, which we spoke about the other night. We still need to break above this descending channel, finish, get above 80,000 plus, and start heading towards this moving average here. So all in all, I do believe crypto will have a bounce. It's already having a bounce. The question is it sustainable? Have we seen the bottom? And clearly, I don't think the market has bottom. It's just that the shocks have not presented themselves into crypto just yet. And key indicators are, again, you can dollar cost average, you can, without any stress. But let me show you what's going on globally. So this is the Dubai Real Estate Index, okay? And you can see from the peak here on the 27th, basically just as the war started, you could see this massive drop off that has occurred. And then of course, the DXY has been pumping non-stop. So we need to look at that. Volatility on the VIX is very high. You can see here, VIX has been absolutely pushing up. And of course, we had a lot of financial stress in terms of the financial sector in particular. So that's where we are right now with the macro, guys. FOMC, there are no rate cuts expected in about 3 days from now on Wednesday. So, or 2 days from now. It's just after midnight here. So that's where we are. And is the music still loud? Let me know. Let me know. Can you guys hear music from my end? So yes, Pratik, I hear you, bro. Turn off the music. I just sound weird hearing myself, that's all. Good lads. So that's where we are. So we come to then Bitensa TAO, of course. We've been talking about this for a very long time now. But for me, it is arguably the least talked about cryptocurrency in all of crypto. So not a lot of people know about what TAO is, what it does, how it works, how to buy subnets. And as of late, if we just go to TAO stats, the subnets are doing very, very well. And they are insulated from crypto volatility by and large because of the fact that these subnets are largely within TAO. So they're confounded within the TAO subnets. But there's really good performance here, decent validators, quality subnets. Again, Peter was talking about shoots. There's shoots, there's Templar. This one's been doing very well, up 118% for the year. Regis AI, and so those are very, very decent ones. Do let me know if you hold a subnet, because I think these subnets will continue to grow, and just think about them like a startup, basically, which is what they are. These are startups. But yeah, it's been a long time coming. I mean, don't forget, TAO's not had a bounce from its halving. Peter said music is good. Oh, was it good, bro? Let me see if I can get a good. let me know if it's yeah, a lot of people left crypto. It's not the same, which is kind of sad to see, to be honest, but ultimately it is a tough business. And to be fair, I don't really feel bad for them at all if they can, of course, get away from that stress. Because here you need to have things that are going to keep you alive for many years. I mean, when I talk about TAO, or when we discuss me and you, for example, when we talk about TAO, we know we're buying a long-term commodity, so it's totally different to just coming into the market, getting something, and then leaving. Maybe lower a tad bit. Scratching. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know what's going on with my mixer tonight, guys. Should really be a straightforward control. But yeah, I hope that's okay. It's too loud. It's too loud. Okay, cool. Let's keep it off. Let's keep it off. We'll keep it off anyway. And so yeah, whoever's buying official Trump, let me know if anyone's buying meme coins. I mean, I had a look at Lofi today. I had a cheeky look at the wallet, to be fair, and still holding up. Aethir is pretty decent. I think on the, where we at with Aethir? Let's verify this. I mean, this is price histories here. The thing about, in my opinion, again, many people don't actually know how to buy and sell in the subnet. I think we've done a video about that on the channel. But Aethir is doing all right. It's doing all right. Not the good thing about these is they're not too volatile. The chart tends to be quite steady. Only $59 million market cap. So considering it has a 2 million, it has a $2.79 million volume. That volume will likely to be pretty accurate in terms of all you have to do, guys, is connect your TAO wallet, by the way, if you're using TAO stats, if you're buying these, so yeah, Aethir seems to be decent. There was let me just go here. I think it was on. It should have had its own category. One of these had. So yeah, TAO's going to be the gold. It's going to be kind of like the AI Bitcoin, in my opinion. But this volume here, this candle is just ridiculous. I mean, this is exactly what you want, man. Absolute insanity. That's exactly how. if you remember, we've been patient with it for a while, but I still believe it's currently only 62% away from its all-time high here. But let me tell you about these subnets. Anyway, let's talk about subnets. I think we were talking about Aethir. just send that to this guy. So yeah, I mean, I think it's decent. Ridges AI, it's another one that I've looked into that I like a lot. But you see, I haven't seen that, bro. Is it good? Chain AI. Chart moving like a good trade. Beautiful. We'll take a look for sure. Breaking even at 228. You think I should take this time to sell and jump back in? This is a brilliant question. How can I? Let me just go see how we can get these comments to stay here longer. Okay, yeah, it's only giving me a time. Let's see. Yeah, let's take that off. Better. Okay, so breaking even 280. Time to sell and jump back in at the 200 range for more coins to the same money. So this is a catch-22 with everything, and at the moment, personally, I mean, let's have a look at the chart. Probably 300 was a level that we need to look at. And there you go. I mean, it's coming up to this critical level. So here's the entire picture. This is what we're looking at. And let me just remove this. I mean, this is what we're looking at, right? So this is a major resistance at 300. 285. I mean, as long as you're not selling your entire bag, I don't really see. So personally speaking, there's coins that I don't play with because it just messes me up in terms of the market dynamics. Yeah, it is oversold on the daily, but the weekly RSI, let's have a look at the weekly. Weekly still got room to move to the upside. And if BTC ultimately is going to move to $80,000 or 75, take liquidity, break above resistance at 72, and then smash past the 74,000 resistance, and it goes up to maybe 79 to 80. You might as well sit tight. Like I said, the weekly is still moving up. It hasn't become negative. And then maybe you can sell some of, you can sell a few and get back in with some more, maybe take 20%. I don't know. But what I would say is, me personally, because my bag has been growing quite significantly, I don't F around with it. But clearly the resistance is at $300 with a very decent volume today. It is a volatile market, and I can understand why you would ask such a question, because that is ultimately that's what you have to do, right? So yeah, I hope I've for the dollar. Hope that answers your questions, bro. Yeah, Aethir has Shoot and Targon, both decent. I mean, you should have these on CoinGecko. Let's go to CoinGecko. Let's go here. So Shoots SN64 doing brilliantly today. Still, I mean, being one of the best subnets. So if basically, so here's what I'm thinking. If open source AI is going to do really well, And if NVIDIA are coming to this space, because all NVIDIA want really is to make AI agents open source, right? So me and you can have it for free. And then it forces businesses to innovate rather than being a closed industry dominated by, say, OpenAI or Anthropic or any of these other companies. I think this whole idea, especially leading up to the NVIDIA conference, developer conference, which is in March, or is it in April, early April, I think. Ultimately, I don't think people understand what NVIDIA are doing in the AI agent space. I think it's very hard to comprehend because ultimately they sell more GPUs and they'll force everyone to innovate on AI agents, and the whole space is open source. But what we're looking at here is Shoots. Shoots is a serverless compute for AI, basically. So just so you know, and I know this is a bold statement, but some of the AI agents, some of the subnets are better than real cryptocurrencies in the AI space with billions of dollars in terms of market value. You know, I can think of many. I can think of Fetch AI. The subnets alone will give them a run for their money. And I think that's how people need to understand some of the good subnets. Because ultimately, if you're going to hyperscale AI and you see this one shoots at $120 million, and look at the models as well. It's OpenAI, DeepSeek. Kimi is an interesting one. For those of you that mess about with different kind of LLMs, I've been thinking about getting Kimi because they they offer the cheapest way to actually do to run an OpenClaw. Kimi.ai, they're Chinese. I think they're still in early stage development. But, you know, look at this. I mean, image generation, there's a shoots for everything. And here's what I'm actually kind of based in the TAO subnets to absolutely kill. I think a lot of cryptocurrencies will suffer because of the fact that now you have real computational power, real decentralized AI that is driven by real utility, whereas before, like a year ago, everybody came up with AI image generation, deep fake AI, this, and they were all BS. They had no use cases at all. Patriot, is that you, bro? I tell you what, man, all I can hear is Patriot missiles over my head. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you are doing well. So just keep in mind that, you know, these projects are running AI models, and I think that's gonna be quite key. I mean, you can see here some of these different and their charges as well. I mean, per token is ridiculous. So ideally, you should be able to execute Xiaomi Mimo. I mean, there's DeepSeek, there's Quen, there's Kimi, there's Chat GPT-5, GPT-OS. So yeah, Gamma. This is crazy stuff, man. Patriot is in the building. This is my brother, man. I hope you're well, bro. Have I missed anything else here? I'll just hold. Yeah, 100%, bro. I think that's a good because look, so you know how some bags bother you. Like if it's a shit coin, it really does bother me. But if I'm holding something quality, you know, with TAO, you're holding possibly one of the top cryptocurrencies, probably one of the best inventions since perhaps Ethereum, right? I mean, we can talk about Solana and all the other ones as well, Elusuri and all of these, but genuinely, you're holding an asset. So market permutations I don't lose sleep over. And I understand the human nature in trying to expand the bag. But you know what? For some reason, every time you really try that, it ends up being a mess, or the market moves in the opposite direction. So in order to keep a good, cool, here's what I want every one of you to do. Look at your portfolio. And when you look at your portfolio, say to yourself, can I go to bed with that? Like, do I have to look at that coin every single day? Right? Because you've got to divide it into two. There's conviction stuff that you would buy on every payday. Understand most people don't have money just lying around. So the chances are there's either a weekly check or a monthly check, and you DCA once a month. And I would even go as far as saying, if you could use AI right now to actually do a budget, because the world is changing, right? We are under immense pressure every day. And it's important that we get this game right. It's absolutely important that we get this crypto game right. And there's going to be, in my opinion, the next alt season will be quite remarkable. It will just be, if you're buying the right stuff and you're holding for the duration that you need to hold, you should do very well. But honestly, I don't know why not a lot of people are using AI to actually do their budgets. Give a spreadsheet to your LLM and say, yo, look at my spending habits, and increase the bag that way. But I 100% agree with you, because I used to suffer from that dilemma, bro. I used to say to myself, man, let me double this or double that. And I just feel like one part of my portfolio, it's like come rain or shine, I DCA into it on red days and I forget about it. I'm not looking at that. I'm not looking at that in the next 6 months unless the market says, okay, you know what? Each TAO is over $1,000 and you've got, X amount of TAO and you can sell 50% and make a proper money. And even 1,000 is not where I expect it to go in the next. I'm not saying you're going to hold it for 10 years, but you've got to wait for mega FOMO and a tsunami of activity around AI and NVIDIA and liquidity into the market, and then you sell. But if we get a pump where you think, it's irrational, then I totally agree with you on the risk analysis, bro. So yeah, 100%, man. You're welcome, bro. Caves in the building, my brother. All right, okay. What do you think about Aethir? This is a very good question, and I'm glad you obviously asked. So Aethir, where do I stand, and what do I think of Aethir? In my opinion, I have to be totally honest. I haven't seen a functioning product. that from a speculation perspective, I think they are brilliant marketers, because obviously they raised a lot of money and they're in that NVIDIA space. But the chart is horrific and has been, and I have made a video. I tried my best to be absolutely balanced, but this is a shit performance. I mean, listen, everything is down, but this has been one hell of a scheme, in my opinion. And if you can actually physically show me how to get one of these, how to get any type of service out of them, then I'd be more than happy to look at this again. But I just feel like it's been, I mean, look at this, you get the stats, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you can't make money in it. but I can find a subnet right now. I mean, listen, we all live and we learn. You know, we we get better with time, and we understand crypto, and we avoid the hype. You know, screw the hype. If it's about hype, you wait for a meme season, right? But what we want from a fundamental project here is to give us not numbers, right? So this is what they got, right? GPU containers. And where's your service? Access compute. Okay. What is this? That's what I'm saying. Look, access compute. So first of all, this is AI written, right? And what it says is you basically fill a form. How would you like to receive the information? Contact purpose, company name. This is not a business model, right? So from that perspective, maybe I'm way too analytical for this shit. You know, maybe I've become way too old in this game. But I do understand when I smell bullshit. And by the way, for the longest time, I've been looking at this. I've talked about it. I've made content on it. I want to love this token, and I want this to do 100x, no problem. But the reason I asked, the reason why I'm answering it this way is because if you have a business model and you're obviously at a critical industry, because AI is the new gold, right? AI is definitely the new gold. There's Aethir Claw. Look, there's stuff here that I really like the sound of, right? When you look at this. So Aethir Claw launching on AI agent deployment, right? Aethir Claw will officially launch. Okay, all right, fair enough. Let's see what else they're doing. And by the way, I haven't even spoken about their tokenomics, and I have not even spoken about their on-chain dynamics, right? If the team can come out and say, we obviously grew in market cap by dumping tokens, because right now the market cap is 115 million and the market cap rose by 8.86%, and we are good to go. I would definitely listen. I wouldn't mind buying a small bag of this. I have held it. I've sold it at times at a loss. But what I want to see on chain is the business model. Team vesting wallet. This is what I'm talking about. They've just sold, right? You with me? And by the way, before anyone says you like this project or you hate that project, just have a look at this. So 14% here. Team vesting wallet. And again, it's always been a case of who's selling these tokens, right? The team obviously actively selling their bit. And I would say they were very clear in their tokenomics design from day one that they were going to do what they had to do. So look, if you look at what's happening here, top 100 addresses, smart money's more or less out. Public figures, I mean, they will go with public figures because that means they've given some tokens to a top tier public figure, perhaps. And again, whales are unchanged. And then what you see here, as soon as there's positive price movement, you see an exchange inflow increase, meaning that more tokens are being put onto exchanges for the sell. So this is not something that's unique to them, but they have been very much, in my opinion, guilty. I was talking to a project founder, very, very good friend of mine, who is a very honest guy. He has a deep in project. He's worked very hard on it. And, these louder noises overtake the quality of their product. And we were just talking about the industry dynamics. There's nothing wrong with, the playing with the hype. What I would say is, on a positive note, if the NVIDIA situation keeps on developing with the GPUs and the GPU requirements are more, and they stop selling tokens and their vesting improves over time, maybe it's something you can look at potentially further down the line. I wanted to speculate by holding at least, X amount of tokens with this, but I have no, and I'm 100% sure because they've been very successful with their marketing so far, whether they can make a secondary move in this market, because technically with their GPUs, they should be doing a lot more. But initially it became a money grab. It had a lot of influencers. Let's see who they brought back in. Who's this public figure here? Public figure, who are you? He's got 6 million tokens. Oh no, it's not Arthur Hayes, is it? So some people were asking me about who was it? Somebody was asking me about Aethir, and I would love to show you. I'll show you what Arthur Hayes has been doing the same weeks or same days when he's posting about Aethir, especially back in September. He was selling millions of tokens. So it is what it is, but they have now, I haven't seen this name before in Aethir. Arthur Hayes appears to have 0.1% or 5 million or $36,000 worth of Aethir. That's a first. He's never held it. He was never in it. He was never an early investor, right? So this is what's going to happen. Again, I can't tell you who Sanjay is. I mean, it's insignificant. Anybody else here is not. But this is breaking. This is a new development. So what they must have done for the next wave of marketing, they must have obviously teamed up with Arthur Hayes. And he says here he was an angel. But I doubt it because I've seen this wallet before. So what Arthur Hayes does, look, his balance is shot up. Arthur Hayes doesn't really give a damn. He'll just dump unless they've got an agreement there to obviously dump the token. And yeah, I mean that's usual now with these centralized projects. So yeah, hope I've answered your question. And like I said, I will also buy a small bag at some point to speculate, but I will not be losing sleep over it, because if it goes to, I don't know, 6 cents, I mean, you've already made a significant amount of money. Sorry, I hope I haven't. Absolute facts, bro. This is a good question, bro. We kind of talked about this anyway. Anyone else waiting for the dip might be disappointed just by now. I'd say just dollar cost average to your key, and then of course speculate on what you have to later. We have talked about, if some of you are joining, by the way, smash a like if you're finding any value in what I'm saying. It kind of reinforces doing more lives. If you've missed our earlier stream, this is the impact of the war on the price of energy and CPI in general. Overall, inflation has always risen sharply off the back of a conflict, right? So yeah, if you're in a hurry, you might as well grab what you can and don't blame anyone. So let's go. not FOMOing, 120 level. Listen, what a chat. And, I love a conviction. And what I hold on average anyway is pretty low in terms of the average cost. So either way, if the market does, let's be fair, nobody can time the top and nobody knows where the bottom is. If the market does a ridiculous, 1,000% on the total 3 or whatever, I don't care. Whatever exposure I have will be good enough. And that's how you should be thinking, because we are very risky in terms of an industry anyway. And if the market crashes, all these stable coins that I've been saving or whatever should come into an effect and do damage. Do you think the bottom was 60K, or can we go lower? Pratik, I don't know if you were here earlier, but from my own perspective, I do believe that crypto will have a shakeout because we're not going to be immune from the macro, right? So this is why right now we are at $72,000. And this candle closes in a couple of hours, in 1 hour, 41 minutes. I mean, how low could we go? That's a really, really important question here. I have a bottom of the cycle potentially at $48,000, and perhaps maybe one last retest. There's a lot of liquidity here that's trapped here. So potentially that could be the case. In terms of a structure, we are still in this macro downtrend, right? So nothing changes from that unless we break out the overall macro downtrend. And honestly, I wouldn't worry both ways, because on the one hand, everyone is bearish, right? Like everybody's bearish. So if we think of this as our bear market slope, and this is the bullish structure that we came from. I mean, it's very easy to kind of see from here to here. You can actually see the bull market and the bear market by simply just going, look, this was our bull market structure, right? We were in there since the lows in 2022. And then we fell out. And right now we are in this bearish structure. So we've got to claim this and start moving upwards, right? If you look at it in a simple way, and that's what we're aiming to do right now. But how's your macro picture looking? What's the new Fed chair going to do? Are there going to be interest rate hikes, or are there going to be interest rate cuts? Now, we don't have any cuts planned till September. So this is why it's important not to FOMO and to be able to have a long-term view of the market. Honestly, that's why I go above and beyond. Why is this situation different to any of these other situations previously? So we had, forget the oil comparison, right? We've had different times, the peak interest rate posed, a crisis in the Gulf. So if we're going to get a bottoming event, and again, Pratik, I think, your question is very, very important, in the sense that, where do I see the bottom at 60K? If the bottom was 60K, the only reason would be because of the fact that we've held the 200 moving average. But 2022 was the first time we ever went to the 300 week moving average. So it's this other metric, right? Something happened this week in Bitcoin that is quite that's quite scary, really. And I'll show you what that is. So it took 17 years for Bitcoin supply to reach 20 million. So 3 days ago, 4 days ago, we clocked in at 20 million. Now it will take another 100 years to mine the last million. So Bitcoin, by all means, is becoming even more scarce, right? So if Bitcoin's becoming more scarce, the supply shock is absolutely due. And this is why, if you look at ETF flows, for example, last week, we had 5 days of positive ETF flows for the first time in a long time. So that's one dynamic we can, on the bullish side, we can say, look, Bitcoin institutions are now realizing that Bitcoin is actually becoming even more scarce. And the data would suggest these positive inflows that happened last week, for example, iBit, they don't miss buying Bitcoin. So we are seeing more inflows from institutions coming into Bitcoin now. And on top of that, we've got the supply dynamics that have just become even more tempting, in the sense that the extra 1 million will not be mineable for another 100 years. The rewards will be so tight. So ultimately, BTC is setting everyone it's a time bomb. It's a time bomb. So 60,000, whereas for us, or $70,000, that's a lot of money, right? But institutions will be looking at a $300,000, $500,000, $1 million Bitcoin. So that's gonna be the answer, in my opinion. I think this metric here, at least for Bitcoin, is gonna be something that people struggle with. Once it finally moves, I think it will move aggressively and violently. So while I still believe the market will throw us a curveball based on the macro, I do believe the time is running out, at least for Bitcoin anyway, to make that decision. Historically, we go 30% lower from the value, 30% down from 58K, 50K BTC is possible. I mean, hopefully, you're not too far from my number. I actually went 48,000 as a place, but yeah, I 100%, I agree with you, bro. And also as well, we are in a different type of scenario when it comes to the macro. And I'd honestly say to everyone, pay attention to the April FOMC, CPI, and PPI. That's going to be quite key. Yahoo may be deceased. Holy moly. Yahoo Business. You're looking at End of Times Warrior said, I'm looking at 48 to 55K low, where I will be adding anyway. Perfect. I mean, that's clarity right there. TAO's getting a lot more exposure. Check out the Templar, what they did recently. They're getting a lot of coverage. Plus, there are 2 spots ETF filings with Bitwise and Grayscale. That's tremendous. Absolutely tremendous there. I did see Templar on TAO stats, and it was pulling up to the second best in terms of the TAO rewards. Let's go back to Templar. Yeah, look at their performance. Look at their performance. They probably haven't got a, let me see if I find them on X. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, this is it. Let's give them a follow. Templar AI. So internet-wide AI training. Now, AI training is a completely different, look at this, training models. So, and it's going to be open source. So this is going to be quite key in terms of, I'm going to have to do some research into this and see if I can make any sense of it. But seems to be, they're hiring, seems to be doing very well. It seems to be doing incredibly well. Wow. Thanks for that shout out. It's going to be the cheap hands TAO. Virtuals is incredible, which means it's a good investment. Absolutely. Absolutely, bro. The poor man's TAO. I like that. I like the sound of that. Let me see what we're doing here. Let's go here. So yeah, this is, I mean, Templar is very, very interesting with spot ETFs and everything else that's coming. So what's my favorite? I mean, for me, Regis AI is the one. And the other one also is Shoots that we spoke about a little bit earlier. Yeah, $300 seems to be a decent location for a potential pullback. But honestly, if this is a bear market and that's the sort of hype we're looking at right now, can you imagine when money's back into the system, money's sloshing around? It's going to be insane. Not financial advice. So what, is it all over for Aptos? Anyone here hold Aptos? Aptos. Mo Shake. Near Protocol. I mean, look, if we look at altcoins anyway in general, they all seem to be governed by this altcoin chart here, which is the total 3 minus USDT that has been in a 4-year bear market. So this is what's going on right now. So if we ever came back to these levels, then I think we'd say for the final time, we could be looking at a sustained bull market for altcoins. So we're still holding support on this one, but we still haven't broken through the downtrend here, which if you take it all the way, this is like from the last cycle. So this is what alts have done in their total 3 market cap, which is absolute insanity. Virtual's October crash price at 29 cents. If we go there, would be a life-changing opportunity. Facts, bro. We'll break the all-time highs. Yeah, Aptos is dead. It is an absolute. Yeah, I mean, it is quite horrendous. I mean, once upon a time, it had potential, but Aptos now is very much $700 million. I mean, I wonder who's holding this now. But it has absolutely wrecked a lot of people. But yeah, well, I mean, the founder, Mo Sheikh, did well out of it. And then he left it. Aptos chain, we're not even going to look at that. See what smart money's doing. What are we saying here? Smart money. Any funds buying anything? See what they're doing. Nah, not a lot there. Sometimes you'll see like crazy inflows into some of these Chinese tokens, but I never look at them. State what? Who's this on base? So this is what Nansen is really good at tracking sometimes. You get these crazy tokens for the short term. I just don't have the heart to actually look at these. New token flows. State, Conway, these are all on base. Litcoin, sounds like a fancy name. And then you've got the Chinese New Year coming soon. No chill. Let's have a look at no chill, guys, on AVAX. Nah, it's nothing to speculate on. But sometimes you'd see meme coins here that just make you laugh because of the who's holding it. Frogs. The hell is this? Anyway, I digress. Boom. Monad's been doing very well. Monad has been doing very well. Well, at least the last time I looked at Monad, it was holding above 2. And I will take a look at that on Nansen right now, bro. And but yeah, look, it's a first cycle coin, and it's not the worst. In terms of their all-time high, I mean, it is 53% down from its all-time high and 40% up from its all-time low, which was about a month ago. Chain Monad. Let's have a look at Monad. Honestly, it's quite stable. There is investment fund recipient, net worth 400K, and their balance is 17 billion, and they've sold 68.5 million. Target fund, 100% wallet. So this is not a sell. I believe they sent that much. But if you look at top wallets, they hold there's 480 million worth of the coin. So that's the majority of the investment recipient. Damn. Let's have a look at this fund. Yeah, so this is a team wallet, I believe. investment recipient. And then Dragonfly Capital, they hold about 80 million, 400,976 worth of the token. Then, of course, these are all, I mean, majority of these anyway, they tend to hold. That's the staking wallet there. Let's see what this token millionaire is doing. He's a token millionaire, but only for Monad. Another token millionaire here, $15 million. These are all in Monad. So it looks very stable from the holder's perspective. Let's go to, let me just search it on. Because sometimes there's different bridges also come up here. So what I'm not getting is the breakdown of the project. But yeah, it does look pretty stable. I think it looks like there's a lot of funds in there. Yeah, Car had a nice pump last month. You still holding? I don't have Car as far as I remember. I think I had a little bit, maybe $500 or $1,000 of Car, but let me have a look because I want to get more Car. The essence with these smaller tokens is just buy them when you feel like it's, I mean, look at this. They have actually changed their tokenomics. So you see here now, total supply 35 million. But let's see why it's been pumping. On the token God mode. Boom. I mean, bought. Who's bought a significant amount? 500 TAO. 500 net tokens here. I mean, that's not bad. $348. In terms of the size, let's have a look, see if there's any significant. So here's a very interesting. Let me just remove this for a second, so you guys can actually benefit from this. So what happens in a bear market, right? What happens in a bear market? You'll get a project like Car, right? So if you look at the largest inflow, so just so that you guys can see here, I will do by USD. So from $10, right, for 14 tokens to 500 tokens for $348. And these are significant buys for this project in a bear market. Now, why is that important? Why am I showing you this? I'm showing you this because in a bear market for microcaps, right, a $500 buy could become quite significant further down the line. So whilst I don't agree, obviously your conviction is your conviction. You buy your TAOs, you buy your SUIs, you buy your Caspers, you buy the good cryptocurrencies that you believe in. I'm a degen, so at some point I still hold Mavia, I still hold few microcaps, and they don't bother me at all. I don't lose sleep over it. But if I was to buy, let's say $500 or $300 of TAO, of Car, I'd get significant tokens. And in my opinion, microcaps right now at $1 million market cap in a pretty much, or $2 million, what is it? Fully diluted. Yeah, $1.8 million market cap. I'm not saying you go and buy this because it's going to be very hard for you to either wait or whatever, or the project goes to zero. So far it hasn't, so it's not going to die. But the slippage, the liquidity, all of that is incredibly low. So Nansen is showing you certain type of investors, regardless, they buy these small. I mean, let's look at what this guy is holding, right? So look at this guy, right? So his biggest hold, he's just bought, he's just bought $140 worth of TAO. CAR, right? His biggest holding is Moontropica. His balance is 38,220. And that's worth about $25,000. Now, do not laugh at my brother. He also has a $4,000 investment in Hash AI. He's got some Floki there. And he's obviously got some bunch of other stuff. But I do like what he's doing with this DGen portfolio, because he's putting some significant money in a narrative that people don't even think will absolutely go at all. And he's got Atlas here. Look at this. He's down P&L 5K, but it doesn't matter. I think it's could even well be 2 years ago deployed. What did they deployed here? But he's holding several different tokens, and sometimes you just have to buy small coins with small money and not really, play your lottery cards, right? Alex is in the building as well. Sorry, I've been. Let me see. Alexis said Monday dump. I think Monday will be interesting, especially stock market open. Can you track Monad on Nansen? Yeah, I believe we just did. I don't know if you saw that, bro. Here we saw this question as well. Can you track which country is going to attack? Incoming. I can see one or two. Any new gems I'm watching right now? I think, look, the TAO subnet is quite interesting right now, although I haven't actually bought anything of significance over there. I do believe that for any new money, I'm not really looking at any kind of gems, any micro caps at the moment. Apart from the pre-existing stuff, because I do believe that the market is, every day I come across tons and tons of new cryptocurrencies here. But the issue that I have with these is that you're telling people to get in and out, right? Unless it's like a new launch that you've been anticipating, or something that I get, that I have inside information on. But right now, to be fair, I'm tracking the market in the sense of what's already here is good enough to me to make life-changing money. Whether you're looking at meme coins, whether you're looking at layer ones, whether you're looking at whatever the case might be, there's just a lot to focus on right now. If you just sometimes go through the market caps, you got SPX here at $269 million, Toshi at $91 million, WIF at 168 million, Turbo 74 million. These will make a comeback. MPC coin here at $67 million. Interesting how, I mean, this has been quite strong. Apu is $10 million. So that's from a meme coin perspective. Lofi at 3 point, Lofi will move with Sui for sure. But there's going to be some decent stuff that makes a remarkable return and pumps with the layer ones, pumps with ETH, pumps with Sui, pumps with Ethereum. So this is a good space to currently just keep an eye on. I'm not saying go buy meme coins, and this was the August dip watch, which had all of the main cryptocurrencies. Remember when Bananagan had all that hype? I mean, right now it's what, 7 million circulating? No, that's the volume. 16 million market cap. So yeah, I mean, different things as well. Sui ecosystem is down completely by market cap. Look, the biggest market cap there is Walrus and D-Book. So there's plenty. And Blue Move went out of business, by the way. Inactive and is deactivated. I don't know if anyone... This is a bear market casualty. Interestingly, that Sonic Snipe bot has been doing very well. Do you still like STBL? Yes, I haven't checked the inflation, but I do. I do like it. It's I was actually comparing it to Plasma. And let's see what STBL is doing. Look, I like the stablecoin narrative, and I do like the fact that it's the founding team is pretty strong. $18 million market cap. So at this point, it's actually a micro cap with a shit chart. But and lately as well, I mean, BNB contracts haven't been doing that well because of the FUD against Binance. So yeah, but I do like the narrative. I do believe that backed by OKX and of course the founder with what is he, Tether, could be decent. But right now the tokenomics and everything else don't make it that worthwhile. Thoughts on Rails? Hearing few things. Let me know what you're hearing, bro. Let me know what you're hearing. Rails. What we've got here. Chart's not bad. Fully diluted 45, so they've got very tiny circulation. No tier one. Actually, they've got Coinbase, Kraken, but most of their volume seems to be coming from, let's have a look, 24-hour volume, Kraken. No, it's coming from, Kraken, I think. Yeah, so they're doing very well on Kraken. I mean, listen, I've not really looked into this one before, so it's a layer one. And what do I think of it? The blockchain for banks. Interesting. JP Morgan. I mean, JP Morgan is touted quite a lot. RWA. Interesting, actually. Apart from the low circulation, it is, where is it built on? ETH. Let's take a look. I'll do a couple of more, then I'll make my way to my bedroom. What are we looking at? Let's look at the daily, not the 5 minute. Okay, chart is not looking great on here. Snipers. We got 4% of the snipers holding, 4% of the snipers bought more, and 12%. So there's still pretty much most snipers have sold, but some are holding. In terms of, let's have a look at this token millionaire. Token millionaire, what you got for me, sir? Interesting. Overview. Let's have a look. It's only tracking, the problem here is it's only tracking 2 wallets. I don't see any other wallets that have bought into this. And this one's also transferred out $50,000 worth. Interesting. I'll keep a look. All right, guys, we've done 1 hour, 27 minutes, and it's now 2:53 in the morning for me. I'm going to sign out. It's been amazing hosting you guys. On your way, like the stream. Of course, as always, like the channel, share it with anyone that you can get into crypto. And have a good night, guys. Hopefully, we'll get good news with the conflict ending soon. And we can focus on liquidity and other things. All right, guys. How many members do I have? We're very small, bro. We're not, honestly, we're not really like we're not a hype group. We don't chat a lot. You know, we're mature. We are, honestly, you may even find it boring sometimes, but it's good because you'll get the information will filter through to you. Of course, you'll only pay $9. It's not like it's going to cost you a lot of money to be with us. But yeah, bro, it's honestly, you're more than welcome. And like I said, you know, there's mature people there. It is what it is, bro. You know. But I don't even talk about the group. I don't want to tell people to join the group and get disappointed. You know, it's just. It's just a group of family. At this point, I think we know everyone by name. I think there's about 300 of us, give or take, between Patreon and WAP. So yeah, not a large group, bro, but it is more of a family environment. I'll do this last one, mobile. I was actually looking at Deepin. Mobile, did I post this in the group? Mobile, the Helium Mobile, I suppose you mean, right? Well, a $14 million market cap, it's, to be honest, it was disappointing as to where this was supposed to go in the last cycle and where it ended up going. So if you look at this was incredibly crazy in 2023, right? This is a massive, massive move. And since then, I mean, this came out in a bear market. Fortunately, it's not had a full bull market, but when it came out, it did really, really well. Even if you look at the market cap here, from nothing really, all the way to, I think it was about $500 and $600 million. I do like the narrative. The fact that it's a deep in, it's got a real world utility, and this is a technology that hasn't taken off yet. Perhaps you've got Starlink and other things as well. So that's always going to be quite interesting. So yeah, there you go, guys. God bless you all, and I'll sign out. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. 300 is not bad, bro. Don't be. See you there, man. We'll welcome you with open arms, bro. Much appreciated. Much love. And on that positive note, I will love you and leave you guys. Good night. Take care. Bye.